All life is in the blood. If you're able to reverse your age, would you want to know about it? Of course you would. So we have here the only reverse aging product of its kind in the whole world with documented proof. The best of the best, none can compare to it. The Bible tells in Leviticus chapter 17, verse 11, "For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for the soul, for it is the blood that makes an atonement for soul." We have a tremendous product here that is anti-aging, the best in the world. It's much less expensive than stem cell injections or anything else that you could do. And here to share this fantastic information with us today is Dr. Paul Beck.
Well, we're really excited to be here, and thank you for asking me to come here. And I'll tell you what, when you say that life's in the blood, it really is. And some of the things that people don't really understand is that the blood itself is unfortunately nowadays dirty. And the reason it is that because, of course, your liver is having a hard time keeping up. Of course, in addition to that, you have problems with other organs. And there are so many different diseases, so many different problems, so many things that happens is because the body can't keep up. And we're subjected to so many different things. We've got phenols, 2,4-D, pesticides, insecticides, and all different kinds of things that's in us. And what happens is when the body is trying to eat something, and what happens is most people, I eat 100% organic. Most people can't do that. And so what happens is when you're eating something, it has weed killer in it. It has other things in it. And so when you're putting that into the body, okay, the body is saying, oh, we're shutting down cells now because you're giving us bad stuff again. And so what happens is that when you take a product that will purify the blood and purify all the organs, it gets to the point where you take it and then the cells open up and it takes what it wants. And it takes about approximately 4 months to totally rebuild the blood completely. But we're very exciting because we've had so many positive effects of every aspect of the body just by purifying the blood. Now, the other thing is that we found out that most of our problems are diagnosed where you have, of course, bad blood. Most medical treatments come through the blood. Now, this is directly across. And also, blood is a wondrous substance, and it contains all the healing properties that we need. And the main thing is we're not getting the proper nutrition and the proper ingredients and components to do what the body is designed to do. The body can heal itself. God made a wonderful, wonderful thing when he put us together. The problem is we're not taking the proper raw materials to be able to have the life that God wants us to have. Also, we have one thing here on occasion. There was a 13-year-old girl who came to the hospital. She was pale and weak and double over in pain. And she was admitted to for bloody diarrhea, high blood pressure, repeated vomiting. And she even had a sandwich that has raw hamburger meat in it. And after a few days, she began having severe cramps, and then fevers, and then dizziness, and all kinds of other problems. And by the time he saw her, she'd become severely anemic, irregular bruising, and almost no urine output. Her lab test showed her severe anemia and numbers of clotting cells and platelets and kidney failure. She had the most common cause of renal failure in children, and this is serious. The toxin released from the bacteria and the intestines increased all kinds of response in the body, and usually this disease itself is limited, it won't need hospitalization, but in this case it was needed. And the thing is that if you're taking a product and you already have your blood completely clean, it can take more pathogens, it can take more incoming viruses, it can take things of this nature, and the body will be able to handle it, and it will be able to accept it. Also, if you've already dropped the viral load and you get anything that is a big viral load on top of that, the body will be able to handle it. And this is so important. And basically, what happens is that in this case, her kidneys had completely failed. And at this time, she has waste products built up in her body. And if not removed, she would die. And this is a problem. The blood is a medium which the body's nutrients, waste are exchanged, balanced, neutralized, and transferred. And this is a process that the body does. But once again, we don't get the raw ingredients that we need to be able to maintain that. The kidneys, the liver, and lungs are the primary sites where these wastes are eliminated through bile and respiration. And the waste and toxins are not eliminated. The body becomes poisoned, and you'll quickly die if this is not done. When Paul says that Christ shed his blood for us, it's no different. It flowed from the heart of Jesus Christ and for the lost and dying world, and removed sin and depositing it in the sea of unforgiveness. And we were told in 7:19, as he will turn again, he will have compassion upon us, and he will settle our iniquities, and he will cast all their sins into the depth of the sea. And only through the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ can the toxins, poisons, and waste of the cardinal lies produced and can be removed. This project is called sanctification. Medically, there's no permanent substitute for the functions of the blood performing in the kidneys and removing the waste and all the toxins and everything else in regulation. Usually during kidney dialysis, it's only a temporary measure. It's not a permanent measure. And so we have to start getting back to basics. We have to start getting to organic. We have to start getting to get what the body needs. Also, that says here that there's a big difference between forgiveness and personal sins and continuous process of sanctification. Forgiveness cures all diseases, and cleansing clears the debris and removes all traces of illness. There's no substitute for the cleaning power of our Lord Jesus Christ, but it's written in Hebrews in 9:12 and 14. Neither by the blood of goats or calves or nor by his own blood entered to once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us. For the blood of bulls and goats and the ashes of the heifer, sprinkling to the unclean, sanctified to the purifying of the fresh. How much more shall the blood of Christ, through the eternal Spirit, offered himself without spot to spot God, to purge out our conscience from our dead works and serve the living God. And I'll tell you what, everybody probably ought to get this, because this is going to explain it. You might want to get one of these. All life is in the blood. It's written by an MD medical doctor, and it's excellent.
And of course, we were created with perfect bodies. And if it wasn't for sin, Adam and Eve would have lived forever, physically.
Yes.
But because sin entered and the body began to decay, and as the centuries go, it became worse and worse and worse. And the bodies become more contaminated. And like believers, we're sanctified by the word, but our bodies need to be sanctified and cleansed as well. And this is what this product here does. It actually cleans the blood so we can actually live longer.
And there's actually two ways that we can do that. And this is proven, and there's two different ways. One way is it's an expensive blood test. It's a blood test that normal MDs don't do. And it's over $300, but we can take that blood test as a baseline. And then after that, 4 months later, we can do it again. And before, you have terrible blood. And then afterward, you have the best blood ever. And it has oxygen in the blood, and it's completely cleansed. And people that do that, once they see that in black and white, they stay on this forever. There's another way we can do it, which is a lot cheaper. It's about $100. And this is going to actually, and what's going to be exciting about this is that not only do we have the base product that has this, that does everything to purify the blood, but also we have an anti-aging product that has actually been added to this. And the best part about this is done on a peer-reviewed clinical study that's been done by a totally independent lab. It has nothing to do with this. And it's a completely approved lab. And in it, they have the studies where you can take a person, i.e. 65 years old, that's his real age. But after they've been on it for even a shorter period of time, even 30 days, that it will drop the biological age from 65 all the way down to 45. So that's 45, 55, 65. And so you're actually getting younger. And one of the things is we can measure the telomere activity. When we're real young, our telomeres were long. So you have a cell that's dying. It transcribes through the telomere, and then it makes another cell, okay? And as we get older, those get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and eventually they get so short that 30 days later you're going to go meet Jesus because you die of extremely old age. But not only do we lengthen the telomeres, okay, which is equally as important, and we're also making them stronger and better. But what's equally good is that when that one cell transcribes to the next cell, okay, you start having mistakes. And so instead of 100% transcription, let's say you only get 99. Let's say you only get 98. And it goes down further from there. And the thing is that every cell that dies and is then, of course, transcribed, the next thing is if you have a product that is going to keep your telomeres in perfect shape, you've got something that you're going to be getting 100% every time you make a new cell. And this is going to amplify a perfect cell every time. And you are actually reversing the aging process.
And so this is not injection as stem cell shots are, but it's you just spray it in there. You just spray it under the tongue. Less than $100 a month, where the other products that they like stem cells, it's thousands of dollars, and this is much more effective.
Plus, a lot of those out there that are very, very expensive, a lot of the movie stars do it and things of this nature, is that after about 10 years, they have problems with those. The nice thing about it is that that's 100% natural product. There's nothing in there that can hurt you.
And they're vitamins and nutrients.
Vitamins, nutrients.
No chemicals whatsoever.
No chemicals whatsoever. And so basically all a person does is that he takes this, he opens it up, and he puts so many sprays just before he eats. He does that 15 minutes before he eats. That's going to open up all the cells, so then when you eat something, even if it had a problem, you're going to be able to accept it. And it's truly amazing. And so this is the first time that we can reverse the aging process. And the question is, if you had the possibility to take a product that would reverse your age, wouldn't you want to know about it? I mean, I don't know about you. I was born in '53, and I don't mind getting older. I just want to do everything I did when I was younger. And eventually I'm going to go to the pyramids. And when I go to the pyramids, the view's at the top. I'm not going to be in a wheelchair with all my inflammation and look at it. The view's at the top. If it takes me an hour longer to climb up to the top from the younger guys, that's fine. I'm going to the top. That's where the view is. And I'm going to be able to do that with this.
And this is a product that'll take you there. There's none like it in the world. This is the only product of its kind.
There's nothing
anti-aging.
Like this.
And this is scientifically documented.
Right. Third party. It has nothing to do with us. All this documentation has nothing to do with our company. It's all third-party documentation.
So how long has this product been around now?
Well, first of all, there's a 5-year study on the anti-aging part. There's zillions of studies on the original product. So we have plenty of studies, we have plenty of backup, and we have proven results. And there are people that have had, some really, really bizarre things that are hard, and the results are just remarkable.
Now, if people knew that they had the possibility to be able to reverse their age, most people would want to know, of course.
Right.
I know I am. That's why I am taking it now myself. And I'm going to take the blood test, in fact. So I'll be able to document after my blood test and show you the effects that this product has had on my blood and to cleanse my blood and how many years I've been able to reverse. Pretty fantastic.
Plus, if you want to do it and save money, you can also test just for what the telomeres are. And so that means it's about $100. And then you could wait 30 days and test, or you could wait longer. But the nice thing about it is then you're going to have your actual age, and then you're going to have where you've gone to.
So and telomeres explain that one more time.
Well, the telomere, once again, with the telomeres, there you have a cell, and then you have your telomeres that come across into another cell. And so it's making a new cell because the cells die all the time. And so you want perfect transcription when it goes from here to there. See, 2 guys won the Nobel Peace Prize about a decade ago, and they proved that every cell in our body has 20 to 40 electron communication tunnels, and they communicate from cell to cell. You want the best communication possible for complete reproduction okay? And so not only does it lengthen the telomeres, but it also is going to strengthen them, makes them bigger, makes them buff, like working out. But in addition is you're going to have the complete transcription where you're not making a 99% or you're not making a 98. And see, all these cause problems long term.
So some people have been able to extend or to reduce the biological age, even up to 30 years.
Well, and for example, let's say if a 30-year-old did that, okay, he may only drop, 5 years. So he may go from 30 to 25. But the nice thing about it is he's at the 25, but as he ages, he's going to be able to maintain a much better profile in the blood and also the telomere reproduction. And so he's going to be able to maintain that. Now, there's actually people that have gotten better than 20. There's stats, and we have that, where we have the age of the person, and we've gotten actually more than 20. But these are probably people that have detoxed a lot. These are probably people that are really, toeing the mark. And these are people that are probably eating organic, and they're doing a lot of wonderful things. But it'd be quite easy for the person that even does, average thing, taking nutrition, whatever, to drop to 20 years. And I mean, who in their right mind, male or female, doesn't want to go from age 65 to age 45?
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not expensive. Stem cell research, injections, thousands of dollars. This is less than $100 a bottle.
Yeah.
It'll last you a month.
And they only increased the price of that $15 with the anti-aging properties. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. I mean, and the regular product before the anti-aging was stellar by itself.
So it's just sprayed in the mouth, under the tongue, 15 minutes before a meal.
Right. No food or drink before. You don't want to drink a bunch of water. You don't want to eat a bunch of food, and then do it.